All right, this is a 2022 GMC Yukon XL, and I want to do a kind of a quick tour of this and just kind of show you some of the features that the SLE trim has. So this is the SLE trim. SLE is their base trim, which just means it doesn't have some of the luxurious features that say like the Denali has, but you obviously are paying a lot more for that vehicle. So let's kind of go through, just do a walkthrough. This color is satin steel metallic. It's an upgraded color. In 2021, they changed the body style for the full-size SUVs. So this is a 22, has the 18-inch wheels. This has the Duramax 3-liter diesel engine in it, which is a fantastic engine paired with the 10-speed transmission. This is the XL version, so it's the Yukon XL, but they no longer put the XL badging on the vehicle, but you can see how it is the longer wheelbase. It has this longer rear window. It's the XL version, so it means when you have the third row up, you still have a lot of cargo area. So this is the same size as the Suburban. This has the 18-inch wheels. On the outside here, we have the fuel fill up. It's the diesel, it's a capless diesel, and then our diesel exhaust fluid cap is right there. Now on the back here, I want to show you, this is one thing you don't get on the SLE trim. So SLE trim, you have a manual lift gate. So to pop the back, you have to push the button under here and to lift up the back. So be aware of that. You have to get up to the SLT trim to get that powered. Here in the rear, seats fold down. So this is with the third row up. You have all this cargo room. Under here, now that they do the independent rear suspension, you have a lot more cargo room. So you've got storage under there. Both of these seats fold down, as well as the second row. So this is the third row. The second row is there. They fold down as well. And to do that, they actually just with the flip of the, so they're not powered. This seat belt can actually be released and stored up into the ceiling, so that way it's not hanging down like that if you need to carry cargo. One nice thing in the third row is you have USB-C charging ports on both sides, cup holders, and 3 full seat belts. So this is a 8-passenger vehicle. And then to lift those up, you actually just have to pull the tether here, and those will pull back up like that. Okay, we'll close that down. So this can tow 7,700 pounds. This does not have the maximum tow package, but with or without it, it still tows the same amount, 7,700 pounds. So the right rear seat, this has a nice like simulated leather on the upper door card, the armrest area. This is plastic here. And then you also, the rear passengers actually have a lock and unlock. Here's the second row. This is a black interior cloth material. It's very comfortable. Now how this works here to get in the back, you actually just lift this up once and the seat will fold down like that. You lift it up again, pops open like that. That's how you can get access to the third row. So here's our third row. You can see this is with the seats moved all the way back. You can actually, these can move forward and back. And you actually have quite a bit of legroom. So you could fit easily 8 adults in this vehicle, 3 in this row, 3 in the second row, 2 up front. So these are not powered, these are just manually released and folded back down. So to fold it back down, you just push it down like that, lift that up, and you can see in this position, when you fold it up or down, it scoots it all the way forward. So you could leave it like this, and there's actually plenty of legroom here, but if you want to move it all the way back, you can. You can adjust the seat bottom through this handle here. In the rear, you do have roof air conditioning and heating vents in the top, LED touch lights in the top here. And then in the very back, you also have the same vents as well. In the back seat here, we have climate control modes, so rear passengers can change the modes, 2 USB charging ports, and then we do have a 110 outlet here, so something, small appliance, laptop, something like that, be plugged into the back. Same here on the passenger side door. Nice soft touch material here. Lock and unlock for the passenger. And then both the driver and passenger seat are powered. There's no memory seats, but they are powered. And you do have lumbar control as well. Glove box is lockable. And then up here on the dash above the glove box area is all soft touch. Really nice looking dash. You've got a storage pocket right here. Hazards. And here's our climate controls. Rears are all, you can control the rear independently. You can even lock out the rear. And you do have dual climate control where you can sync those. And then here's your audio controls. Home button, power on off. This is how you adjust your volume. This is how you can tune to stations if needed. Vents, and then there's also a new transmission selector buttons. There's no longer a column shifter. It's now a push button. So park, reverse, neutral, drive. So park, you push up to reverse, push down for neutral, up to drive, and then you can select gears if you need to. This is push button start, so it's keyless starting. Two big cup holders here in the front, and then the armrest you have here. There's no wireless charging here, so it would just be plug in. You have two, a USB-C, a USB-A, and then you have a 12-volt socket. And then under the armrest, center console armrest, you have another USB-C, another USB-A, and you've got this nice tray that comes out, and you've got nice deep storage there with a light that's shining down to help see the items in there. Really soft, nice soft touch material here, and then you have two cup holders here. These are for rear passengers if needed. And then a nice storage pocket right here next to your legs on either side, passenger and driver side. Again, these are the 18-inch wheels. It has LED headlights, running lights, fog lights. You get the blacked out grille, well, a black grille on the SLE trim. The mirrors do not power fold. So these mirrors here will manually fold. If you need to tuck these mirrors in, you can just manually fold them up and they'll just turn in. But on the SLE trim, you do not get power folding mirrors, which they're not wide enough to really have to pull them in for any kind of parking or car washes or things like that. So here on the driver's side, we have our window controls right here on the door card. You lock out the rear passengers, left and right, mirror controls here, lock and unlock there. On this left panel here of the driver, we've got our mode selector, so you can do a trailering. There's different selectors, sport mode, trailering control. This is where we do our 2 high, our auto, 4 high. And this looks like a hill climb type of mode for the 4-wheel drive system. So if you just keep it in auto, it'll automatically select 4-wheel drive if needed, if the wheels start slipping. Here's our headlight controls. So it has fog lights, has auto headlights, and then this is our gauges or interior light dimming switches. Our parking brake, traction control on or off, lane departure warning on off, parking sensors on off, auto start stop. Even though it has the diesel, it still has auto start stop when you come to a stoplight. And this is how you can turn on your rear. In the very rear, there is a 110 outlet to plug in. That's how you can turn that on or off. Steering wheel controls. This is very similar for most of the GM trucks, SUVs for this generation, but you have your cruise control here, collision avoidance sensor, you can turn that on or off, and here's your audio controls, phone controls on this side. The stereo volume buttons are on the back here, and then changing tracks are on the back of the steering wheel here, and then we have our on-off. We do have sensing That's how you turn the rear on. And then this is the auto. You actually have auto sensing windshield wipers. So if you just have it on, this is off. If you have it on this setting here, they'll automatically come on when there's water sensed. This is our windshield washer sprayer here. Let me get this started up here. So to start, it's just a push button, foot on the brake, engine start. You can hear it's not a very loud diesel. In 2022, you get the updated full digital gauge cluster here. On 2021s, you don't. You have analog gauges, so it's nice that you get this look. So you have your tachometer here, miles per hour. You can actually change all these through the settings here. You can go through, you can scroll. Miles per gallon, if you see, we've got a average of 25.3 miles per gallon. This will get on the highway. I've gotten up to 30 miles a gallon on the highway. So this diesel is very economical, very great on fuel. And 25, that's a combination of city and highway. So there's just scrolling through some of the options here. The exhaust fluid, this does take the diesel exhaust fluid. Here you can keep it on just your speed. This is cool, it gives you a drive summary, so it tells you from when you started the vehicle up, you know, the how many minutes, miles per gallon, and then how many miles you've traveled, so you can kind of see how that trip, and then you also have a trip meter here. So over the life of the vehicle, 6,900 miles, we've averaged 24 miles to the gallon. That's probably 50 highway, 50% city driving, so fantastic MPG on this big vehicle. Air pressure, so you can kind of go through the different screen modes there. On the screen, we do have, this is all touch screen. You have your home, you've got your you got a trailering. You can start the light test. So this does have the trailering package on it. You do have things like wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can look at your rear camera, maps, different settings here. So this is a very intuitive infotainment system. And then concerning trailering, I did want to point out this. So this device right here, this is actually the GM Accessories installed trailer brake controller for towing. So it doesn't have the maximum tow package, but it does have a installed trailer brake controller. This is made by Kurt. It's the Spectrum trailer brake controller. The dealer installed this when this vehicle was bought. So you can set your gain, trailer brake, etc. to use for that. The engine's running. I'll give you a shot underneath the hood here. It's a quiet diesel engine. The paint on this is fantastic. There's no rock chips, no dings, no dents. The color is a very good looking color. Again, it's a satin steel metallic. Great looking color. So that's what you get with the SLE. So really what you get, if you're looking at this trim, this is really kind of the entry-level trim on this. It gives you a lot of value. So what you're missing out on if you don't go with, compared to the SLT trim. So this one, you're not getting the leather seats, you're not getting heated or cooled seats, and you're not getting the power liftgate. Also the blind spot monitoring, it does not have, this doesn't have the package for that. You can add it onto the SLE trim. That's one of the few packages you can add to the SLE trim, but it doesn't have that. So those four things are the things that you kind of do not get on this trim level that you get on the SLT trim that you're paying $9,000 to $12,000 more for. So if it's worth it for you, you can upgrade to that. But we thought that we might miss those things, and really we haven't with this. This is really a fantastic vehicle, and that you have a lot of great features for kind of a budget-friendly price as far as the trim's concerned. So this vehicle is for sale. See the listing, link to the listing down below. Any questions, feel free to send me an email or leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching the video.